But also, socially anxious people worry that they won't be able to think of something to say next time they see that person and there's opportunity for conversation. So if you remember what the person told you about themselves in this conversation, it will give you something to ask them about next time you see them, when you're reconnecting with them. And sometimes people need a little social skills training too, which is again why therapy is good. A therapist will pick this up and know specifically what you need to work on and what things might be holding you back. A therapist will also be able to spot when you're slipping back into avoidance again. And they may help you sustain momentum as you move through the stages and the learning process. But what is also encouraging, usually the socially anxious person starts to see the results themselves. The world seems to open up and become more friendly and exciting. It's very rewarding suddenly to feel that you've got friends and confidence and the capacity to feel comfortable. It can be what people have dreamt of for a very long time. So if you're one of those people who sees someone you know walking down the street and immediately thinks, they've not seen me yet. If I cross over, I can avoid talking to them. Stop. Think again. Why are you doing that? It's much better to tackle it head on and have that conversation with them, or at least say hello. And make a point of speaking to people and socializing at every opportunity you get. That way you can practice and get better at it and grow your confidence. So you see, social anxiety isn't a life sentence. With consistent effort over time, you can overcome it. If you're socially anxious, I hope you find this podcast really useful. And even if you're not socially anxious, this podcast gives you some insight into other people you know that are and why they behave as they do. That friend who cancels the night out right at the last minute, or that other friend who needs to be persuaded 4 times to accept a social invitation. Share this podcast with other people who you think might find it helpful. Also, don't forget, this is really an English language lesson too. So listen to this podcast as ever a number of times until you understand all the words in it and you get all the meanings. Send us your comments. We love to hear from you. Enough for now. Have a lovely day. Speak to you again soon. Goodbye.